I'm sorry, but you're telling me that a top 10 team came in at night to Athens
Stop.
and Kirby said, well, why don't I just drag you around the field as I want to and use you as my sort of toy, like a killer whale, an orca, to a little seal? Because that's exactly what we did to Ole Miss tonight. We're going to be here talking overreaction all night next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. It's our favorite dine of the week. It's the overreaction show on a Saturday night. He is Clint. I am Daniel. Today's episode brought to you by Jace Medical. More on them in a moment. Clint, I did a lot of smiling tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't always pretty. I wasn't always happy. The beginning of the game, some of the moments for the defense, there was some moments of tension. There was some uneasiness. But Clint, this Georgia team, let me just start the overreaction here with a mild and tempered reaction. We'll work our way up to extreme reactions.
Well, if you're going to start there, then just hand it right on over here. I'll get to overreaction real quick.
This Georgia team is so much better than any other team in college football. It's not even funny. It's not even close. Georgia's a juggernaut. They are a cheat code. They cannot and will not be beaten at any point ever. This team is doing what no other college football team has ever even imagined doing before. I am not scared of anyone. Nope. I am not scared of anyone in college football because of this offense.
There it is.
Because of this defense. But mostly because, Clint, Kirby Smart is him.
He's the tip of the spear.
He is one of one.
Mm-hmm.
There is no coach in college football like Kirby Smart. He took Nick Saban.
And then what did he do?
And then he improved on him to such a rate that he is doing things Nick Saban never even fathomed in his first 8 years of coaching.
Everything you just said, factually correct.
Inarguable, everything that I just said. And so, Tennessee fans.
By the way. How are you doing? I can't.
It was tough. It was a tough day for the pod, Clint, because Tennessee week, we were going to get a lot of our Tennessee fans listening to the pod. We're not going to get as many of them now.
No, we're not.
Alabama fans, though, you out here.
You always out here, Alabama fan. I understand because you clocked in at Kmart and you just left that time card right in there. And you have some more time.
About Alabama fans. Clint. Okay, we're 3 minutes 42 seconds into the show, and we haven't said yet. What needs to be said. Say what needs to be said, Clint.
Brock Bowers is the best college football player of all time. Come at me, anybody.
Pop it in the comments.
He's better pass catcher than anybody you have right now. Do not say Harrison from Ohio State. I've seen him become completely silent for 3/4 of a game. Don't do that. Don't say that, because he also doesn't block. If he's not involved in the plays off to the side, Brock Bowers is involved in literally every play. He's blocking, he's motioning, he's running routes, he's catching, he's doing everything, and he's doing it with a quiet, confident demeanor. Oh, this just in, 3 weeks after surgery.
On what part of his body? On like his pinky finger?
Nope.
His ear?
No.
Oh, surely not a part of his body that's essential for running.
You mean the thing on which he uses to move laterally and accelerate and plant and jump and do all the things required in football?
Brock Bowers is not a human person, y'all.
I don't know what he is.
There was no way he was going to play in this game. I want, like you, Georgia fan, we're the same. I'm a Georgia fan. You're a Georgia fan.
We're homers.
We're the same.
Yeah.
I want to get on Twitter and absolutely drag Chip Towers for taking yet another L, a colossal L, and tweeting hours before the game started about how ridiculous it was that anyone thinks Brock Bowers is actually going to play in this game. I want to do that. Except it's ridiculous that anyone would think Brock Bowers was going to play in this game.
We said he might be out there for a play to rally up. He's going to dress to get excited. We put this over on the subtext. We said he's going to dress to get people excited. He's going to be on the sideline. He's going to be coaching people up. Yada, 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 yada.
He played every play of the game, Clint.
Every play.
He looked normal, Clint.
Correct.
Cuts, blocks, tackled. He did it all. Brock Bowers is not a human person. Guys, we put this out on the Twitter. Please don't take it for granted what you're watching. Okay? Georgia fans, learn. He was back on the sideline tonight. And by the way, we wish Stetson Bennett all the best.
Yes.
In his personal life and in his career.
Get well.
We wish Stetson Bennett all the best. I was so thrilled to see him on the sidelines tonight. Loved that. We took him for granted for at least part of his Georgia career. We took the greatest quarterback in Georgia history for granted. Don't do it with Brock Bowers.
Nope.
This is the best football player you'll ever see play at Georgia.
On that touchdown catch in which he abused
pantsed number 11 for Ole Miss. I mean,
number 11 after the play followed Brock Bowers. Like, he got beat, watched him catch a touchdown, and then Brock turned around to celebrate, and number 11 just kind of followed him because, like, well, I guess I'm your pet now. I guess where you go, I go.
What do you want me to do now, sir?
I'm beholden to you at this point. The guy,
I think he just wanted an autograph. Like, he was just looking to shake his hand.
Okay, really quick, how?
Guys, Brock Bowers, though. Guys, Brock Bowers.
He's him. He's everything.
We got so much to discuss about this game, but it's almost like you can't talk about this guy enough. Like, you cannot talk about Brock Bowers enough. What he did
I was mocked for saying that Brock Bowers should be the number one non-quarterback taken in the NFL draft. I don't care your team. I don't care your needs.
I don't care about pass rush. I don't care about...
Because is scoring points a huge objective of football?
Go back and redraft whatever year it was that Travis Kelce came out.
Sure.
And ask me about the number one pass rusher in that class. Ask me about him. I don't care who he is in the NFL.
I'm taking Kelce.
You literally couldn't name a pass rusher in the NFL that you would take ahead of Travis Kelce. Guess what? NFL fans.
Say more.
NFL GMs. Are you listening to the podcast? Patricia Traina of the Locked On Giants podcast. Are you listening to the podcast? Brock Bowers is going to be way better than Travis Kelce ever dreamed of being.
From day one.
But he's probably not going to date Taylor Swift. That's the first Taylor Swift reference of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
And I hate you for it.
If thousands of episodes in, and we finally got one.
We have made it thousands of episodes in. We're going to continue our overreaction because we have much more to say. We're going to talk about running backs, offensive line, Carson Beck. Kendall Milton is coming.
The offensive line's coming.
Oh my gosh. Daniel and I are in a full lather, but first these.
Tell the people about eBay Motors, Clint. You better tell them now.
You know who else is in a lather, and that's eBay Motors. ebaymotors.com has the amazing ability to get the right part, the right fit, the right prices. eBay guaranteed fit only.
How are you going to get that guaranteed fit, though, Clint? There's no way you could know.
No, it's really simple. What you do is
fit.
Yeah, no, you put it in, you go over to eBay Motors, you put your year, your make, your model of your car, you answer the questions that are given to them, and then they tell you, they say, hey, just so you know, this part that you're shopping does not fit.
Oops, don't buy that one.
So move on from it. As a matter of fact, let me show you other parts that will
do fit.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be great.
eBay Motors is kind of like what we do to NFL GMs. The thing that you want isn't going to make points. Let me give you the thing that you want, and his name is Brock Bowers. We are the eBay Motors to NFL GMs. ebaymotors.com.
What a
The right
pro,
part,
guys. What
the
a
right
pro.
fit,
This
the right
guy.
prices, eBay guarantee, only available for U.S. customers.
Oh, the Saturday night episode is
It's my
alive
favorite
and
episode
well.
ever.
Goodness gracious. Guys,
Yes.
I'm going to give you the choice, Clint.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the offensive line first, or do you want to talk about Kendall Milton first?
No, I want to talk about the offensive line, Daniel.
Okay.
Desperately.
Amarius Mims came back tonight, and it was significant. Xavier Truss has been playing great at right
My
tackle.
gosh, he has.
He has been playing great. Credit where credit's due. Amarius Mims came back tonight, and Carson Beck was not even sniffed at. You understand? Not even he wasn't even annoyed by the defense one time all night. Meanwhile, the running backs were 5, 6, 7, 8 yards downfield before they were touched for the first time. This offensive line tonight, Clint, played at a level that we have not seen even remotely in
Dog
Athens.
fans, we're here.
250
here.
plus on the ground.
And then what?
And then, 600 total yards of offense.
Over
Carson Beck's
600.
just getting everything he wanted all
We
day.
lapped Ole Miss. Now help
Every
remind
day.
me. I'm an
Yeah.
idiot, Daniel.
No,
Help
you are an
remind me.
idiot, so I will help. I'll help
Help
out.
me. The coaching philosophy.
Mhm.
Lane Kiffin, Kirby Smart.
Well, they were both
One
in
of-
Alabama. Lane Kiffin was the defensive coach, and Kirby Smart was the offensive savant.
But oh wait, flip that.
Oh, but we have Mike Bobo, the best offensive coordinator in all of college football.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, so we have the best offensive mind in the game on our staff.
We do. That's exactly
That's
right.
interesting. That's interesting.
Wild. This offensive line was absolutely feeling it. We're here. I've been waiting for this moment all year.
Finally.
We are here because here's where here is.
Mhm.
Fearing nothing that you put in front of this Georgia. Literally, no coach, no
Nothing.
team, no
Nothing.
environment, no player, no scheme, no blitz, no coverage. Nothing terrifies
Please
me.
blitz Carson Beck, y'all.
What will he do?
He will chew you up and spit you out and not even notice that you were there. Like,
He'll just cool hand Luke again. Kirby called him cool hand Luke. He'll just stroll
we're
down
gonna
the field.
listen. We're gonna revisit this on Monday, as we always do. By the way, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the YouTube. Love to have you here. Thanks so much.
We do.
We're talking about it all week, but Carson Beck. Carson Beck's the best quarterback in the NCAA. He's the best quarterback in the SEC. Jaden Daniels can
Shove it.
can get in line. I don't know. Like, I got nothing against the kid. He seems like a super tough competitor.
He does.
I'll take Carson Beck on my team.
This offensive line, Carson Beck, and this offensive line, there were literal moments where you could have stopped film.
Yep.
And you could have drawn a perfect
A
horseshoe.
U shape. Yeah, correct. I mean, the pocket tonight, Clint, was pristine. I've never seen anything like it. He was just, and you got it. It was to the point you feel for Ole Miss because they can't stop the run. They're getting gashed in the passing game. Carson Beck sees everything on the field. He threw an interception tonight, Clint, and it was a perfect throw. Like, everything he did tonight was exceptional, and it was all predicated on that offensive line. Credit to Amarius Mims coming back. Credit to Tate Ratledge. Credit to Ernest Green for the way that he's playing.
Isn't that wild? Really quick, Ernest Green. Mims comes back, and Truss and Mims are rotating on that right side, but Green is holding down left tackle.
Oh, you're not touching that spot.
Nope.
Clint. He's got that spot. Listen, you're not coming for that.
No.
Like, that's like Carson Beck. That's like Brock Vandegrift being like, could I get some reps with the ones? No, we're good. Nah, we're fine here at that spot.
Remember,
Ernest
just
Green's
really
pretty
quick, all of you locked on, do us a favor. Comment and reach out on Twitter.
Please
Me
do.
a huge favor. If you're over on the audio side, get over to the YouTube side. If you're over on the YouTube side, go to the audio side, because I want you to raise
Send
your
us
hand.
an email, lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from
Give
you.
subtext. Subscribe that way.
It's fine.
I want you to tell me. I want just a simple statement. I was the one calling for Vandegrift over Carson Beck by week 3.
I was the one saying Gunnar Stockton is Georgia's best quarterback on the roster. You know who you are, Athens.
You know who you are.
Mm-hmm. I was the one saying Mike Bobo's the worst play caller to ever come through Athens, and
I was the one saying in the red zone, all we do is draws and screens.
I'll tell you what we do in the red zone, Clint.
What do we
hand it
do?
to number 2, and number 2 makes people hate that their mom ever signed them up for Pee Wee football. Kendall Milton is a dude. This is the healthy Kendall Milton, Clint, and everything else has just been a figment of your imagination.
What we've been waiting for this offensive line, they're gelling.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same moment Kendall Milton is gelling and becoming what we knew he could be preseason.
That's right. What we've seen, the potential has always been there, but the injuries throughout his career have just plagued this kid. And even when he was on the field, he was never 100%, and he could never get a rhythm, and he could never get a lather. You could see it in his eyes tonight, Clint. He finally got a lion's share of the carries. He got a significant number of carries, and that's the type of back he is. I love Daijun Edwards, and we would not be where we are right now without Daijun Edwards, and we will not get where we want to go without Daijun Edwards. I'm not trying to disrespect him at all.
Nope.
Kendall Milton is by far the best running back on this team. And Kendall Milton by far needs to have the majority of the carries in this game. I'm talking about 2/3, 1/3. Daijun Edwards needs to be in the game because he complements this run game very well. He is a key piece to what we want to do.
The receiving out of the backfield is incredible.
I want him out there. Do not hear me saying something I'm not saying. But I want number 2 to get the majority of the carries, because when he runs, number 1, he makes cuts differently. Number 2, he accelerates differently. And number 3, he lowers his shoulder and punches you in the mouth differently, Clint.
I'm going to say that the thing that made me jump up, and just exclamation point, because again, Daijun Edwards and I were good friends. I love him in the running game. Still are good friends. Again, we need to make that clear. This is not a competition for love. Okay.
No, it's not. We love all of our children.
That's what I mean. I don't have a favorite.
No, stop asking me who my favorite is.
When he made that cut, setting up a block, it was on the right side, was for the touchdown. When he cut inside instead of going outside, because he saw his block coming from the right guard to wash down, and then the DB couldn't correct in time to get inside. He set him up perfectly. The DB was on the outside.
Or did the DB not want to be there? You don't understand? Like
either one. Little column A, little column B. You want to just go ahead and put those two things together. When he did that cut inside, because actually daylight looked like it was outside. It looked good outside. But he disciplined himself, and he knew he had blockers coming. The wash was coming down to out, and he hit that hole. And I said, that's it. Call it over. Give him all the carries he wants.
Yeah. I mean, you saw what he can do tonight. When you put the ball in his hands, it's incredible. The offensive line played like that. Listen, we didn't even talk about the receivers. I mean, how good of a game did Ra have? How good of a game did Ladd McConkey have, as always? How good of a game did Marcus Rosemey have? Like, did Dominic Lovett have? We could go on and on and on. Does this team have any weapons, Clint?
Oscar Delp,
did he put his shoulder into somebody? He said, I want to get in on some action as well.
We have the best offense in America.
We're the best team in America.
Because we're the best team in America.
Yeah.
We're going to come back, talk more of overreaction. But first, these.
Listen, we spend a lot of time talking on this podcast. We get fired up over wins and losses. We get fired up over who sits and who starts, and it's a great time. We love doing it. Today, I want to chat about Jace Medical. I just learned, Clint, that you can get a 1-year supply. I mean, I learned it a couple weeks ago, to be fair. I didn't just learn it. Seems disingenuous to say that I just learned it, but I did learn it a couple weeks ago. It was relatively recently in my life that you can get a 1-year supply of ED medications through Jace Medical, which you realize what that means. It means bring on the extended travel, bring on the next supply chain issue, whatever happens, you are covered. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can get a refill on your generics for Cialis or Revialto or your prescription. And this is possible because of our friends at Jace Medical. Go online right now at jacemedical.com and receive your 12-month supply of your daily medications. Remember to use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for a discount as well. A verified customer had this to say about Jace: I'm thankful for this service. Quote, supply chain issues caused me to cut pills in half in order to make it. I ordered most of my daily medications with a year's supply. I also ordered an antibiotic kit and now have security. Prices are lower than local pharmacies, and I highly recommend the service for everyone. If you or someone that you love want to get peace of mind by having a year's supply of any daily medication, go to jacemedical.com to see if it's offered for you. Remember to use the promo code LOCKEDON for $20 off your purchase at jacemedical.com. All right, we're going to talk about the defense now. And Clint, I will let you start because you probably should.
Because I am the only sane, unemotional, clear-headed thinker on this podcast.
I don't think you disagree with any of my takes. Is the funny thing. You just don't like that they're true.
I don't disagree with any of your takes. Yeah. But I just happen to share the other side of the takes. Sure. I hold your takes, but then I share.
Let's talk
more.
About those.
Let's talk about those sides. And this is what I'm going to say is not. We're not disingenuous, just like with ad reads, but we're not disingenuous here. We are homers, but we're going to be reasonable in our homerness. And here it is.
Okay.
This defense is the youngest that Kirby Smart has ever had. Point one. Point two, we are missing some notable contributors right now to injury. JDJ.
Boy, if he comes back for the postseason, that would be huge for this team, Clint.
I kind of need it.
I need it. I need it like I need, I don't know, water.
Yeah. you do need water.
And I do need that currently.
You need
but we got about 8 minutes of recording left.
So let's just keep this rolling. We're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
We are young. We are inexperienced, but we are uber talented with the young guys. Jalen Walker, CJ Allen are there. We have enough star power in positions. Kamari Lassiter is the best player on this defense. He's the best player on this defense. But I am hopeful because I think, again, this game showed out what I believed from Missouri and what I believed from other games, that we're ascending in our talent and in our development of this defense. It's not what it was last year. I agree. I'm with y'all. We've come off that mountaintop experience believing that.
Yeah. Your microphone is off. But I hear what you're saying, Clint. At least the first part of what you're saying. And let me add this. I thought the defense stepped up and improved in some areas from the Ole Miss game tonight that were really encouraging to me. We talked all week about how Ole Miss likes to run the football. And just as we've seen all season long, we could not stop the run on the early drives of the game. And that opened up the passing game. And it opened up big plays down the middle. And Ole Miss was able to move the ball on 2 of their first 3 drives and score touchdowns right down the field. But unlike the Missouri game, the defensive front really stepped up and not only shut down the interior run game. And listen, on the interior, there was nothing there for Ole Miss all night long. The defensive tackles, I still can't hear you, by the way, Clint. The defensive tackles, the interior of this defensive line, Zion Logue, Nazir Stackhouse, Warren Brinson, Ingram Dawkins, they were absolutely fantastic. I thought CJ Allen coming downhill was absolutely fantastic in this game. On the interior, Ole Miss wasn't able to do anything. Where Georgia stepped up was that later as the game progressed, unlike against Missouri, they were able to stop the perimeter runs. That's really where Georgia has struggled this year, is on the perimeter. I thought the safeties played better today than they played against Ole Miss. And Clint, I don't know why anyone would run the ball or throw the ball towards Kamari Lassiter, because Kamari Lassiter is the best player on the field. He is so physical in the run game. He is he plays the ball well. He plays coverage well. He's in phase all the time. He is an exceptional talent on this defense. Yeah, Clint agrees with me and is just going to ride out the pod. This is almost poetic here because it's going to give me an opportunity. Clint, if you would, just listen. It's called the Overreaction Show, and so I apologize for saying something so blatantly obvious. Dalen Everett's really bad at football. He's really, really quite bad. I was positively encouraged by what I saw in limited time from Julian Humphrey, and then Julian Humphrey went down with an injury. We'll have to check and see what that injury is. Hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. But the fact that Dalen Everett continues to start over Julian Humphrey should be telling you something about what the coaching staff sees. And I just cannot. Dalen Everett doesn't tackle. He doesn't play the ball. He doesn't stay connected to his man downfield. I do not like it at all. And again, I thought Lane Kiffin would do more to try to exploit it, but I think this game just absolutely got away from him. Kirby absolutely outcoached Lane Kiffin. And the defense, after giving up 14 points in the first quarter, Clint, the defense gave up nothing else for the rest of the game. I mean, a late, meaningless field goal that Lane Kiffin kicked just as a concession to try to score some second half points against this Georgia defense. The adjustments that Glenn Schumann and Will Muschamp have been able to make this season have been unbelievable. Can they continue to do it all year after getting consistently burned early in the games? We'll have to wait and see. But this Georgia team, guys, is absolutely next level. We will be back, both of us, with microphones so that you can hear from both of us on Monday. He is Clint. I am Daniel. Follow us on Twitter at Dawgs Podcast. Email us at lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com, and we will see you guys on Monday.